Greetings, YouTube. I imagine if you went to school in the United States, at some point in your schooling, you encountered scholastic books, the book fair folks, where you would go and you'd pick up books to read for your own amusement. And I used to just live for the book fair folks. I loved them. I looked forward to it every year. And it was important to me because I was a voracious reader as a child, and I guess to a certain degree I still am. Though my reading has changed, I read a lot of gaming books here on my phone, and I lately read a lot. I only read nonfiction on break when I'm at work. Um, and it appears that the Scholastic Company has decided that its best course of action at the moment is to be complicit with the bigots. You see, they've put together a archival list, artisanal list of titles that some conservative school boards aren't going to like. So, LGBT folks, things dealing with Black history, stuff like that. And I imagine that this book right here, which is from Scholastic, is probably on that list as well, because you see, these conservative school boards don't want children exposed to things like the reality of Black people having a history, or Nazis being bad, or gay people exist, or trans people exist and have always existed. So they've lumped all these titles into a convenient little pile and made it very convenient for the schools to say, no, we don't want those books at our sales. So I wonder if next year they're just going to contact the schools and say, you know something, we're going to cut right to the chase. Instead of us delivering those books to your schools, we're just going to put them in a pile in our parking lot, and we're going to douse them in gasoline, and we're going to burn them for you. That is customer service. Because you see, those book fairs could very well be a kid's only exposure to certain things. What if their library doesn't carry those titles? What if they can't get to the public library? Because not every city is walkable. Not every city is easily accessible for kids. Now, I was fortunate. I had a library that wasn't too far from where I lived as a kid, so I could go there on a regular basis. And when I was a teen in summertime, like 13 and 14 year bracket, I was reading a novel a day. So I spent a lot of time in the library. But yeah, Scholastic decided that rather than champion the side of justice, rather than be on the right side of history, that they would make things convenient for the bigots to delete entire schools of knowledge from their children's access. So their kids are never going to have to learn about minority history or gay people or trans people, or probably that Nazis were bad. Because conservatives in America really hate when you point out that Nazis are bad, particularly when their followers, their base, are march in the streets and chant, the Jews will not replace us. And yet they support Israel. Intriguing, isn't it? So I'm disgusted by what Scholastic is doing. I hope there's backlash against them. I hope this costs them dollars. I really do. Because if you appease the Nazis, if you appease the fascists, it doesn't look good for you in the future. Because no one who has ever appeased a fascist has ever been remembered warmly by history. So do better, Scholastic. Bring knowledge to the kids and don't help the bigots discriminate against them.